My fellow MAGA women, Ratchet Jasmine Crockett, yes, Ratchet Jazzy. She says that we all have a look. Listen.
Okay, a lot of the MAGA women receive gender-affirming care, such as lip fillers, breast augmentation, etc. Why do you think they are so against gender-affirming care for trans people?
You know you want to say it.
Okay, so I have this thing where, like, you know a MAGA woman when you see one.
1000%.
They all have a look,
Big
right?
Back,
but they, like, they lips be up to... Anyway, that's a whole other issue.
Ratchet Jazzy has what appears to be an entire turd wrapped around the crown of her head. And she's going to make fun of the way MAGA women look?
Maybe I read the wrong dictionary, but I thought that a liberal was a man who would listen to everybody's point of view and then make up his mind what he was going to do. I made up my mind pretty fast, but I don't know of any of these so-called liberals that listen to anything but their own mouth. Pardon my English.
Working again. Thank you.
U.S. military buildup in the Caribbean. We have learned that the largest, most lethal aircraft carrier is now near Latin America, the USS Ford. Tonight, Venezuela now responding. So what is the U.S. planning? Let's get right to Martha Raddatz. Martha, what do we know tonight?
Well, David, it is the largest, deadliest aircraft carrier in the world and brings the number of U.S. forces in the waters near Latin America to 15,000. The U.S. has already carried out attacks on nearly 20 suspected drug boats, leaving more than 75 people dead. The question now is, will the carrier, which is packed with F-18 fighter jets, strike within Venezuela, or is this just a show of force? Either way, tonight, Venezuela has ordered a nationwide mobilization of 200,000 troops and is ordering the troops to plan guerrilla-style attacks. David?
Martha Raddatz with late reporting. Thank you, Martha.
The House Democrats just exposed Trump for being with an underage Epstein victim for hours, except they lied to you. They redacted the girl's name because it would blow up their entire story. The alleged victim, Virginia Giuffre, was crystal clear in her deposition as well in her own self-written memoir that President Trump did nothing wrong, was actually very friendly to her. Did you see Trump and Epstein together? No. Did he flirt with you? No. And so on. These Democrats have no integrity, they are evil, and they have learned nothing from what their rhetoric did to Charlie Kirk.
50+% of all murders are done by black men. They are 7% of the population, and they do more than half of all the killing in this country. I am not going to pander and use, oh, I feel your pain and white privilege and sentencing stuff. How about you stop murdering so many people? And I'm not saying that blacks are doing it because they're black. I'm saying they're doing it when you don't have a father around. You are more likely to enter that cycle of violence.
Larry.
Take the 30s during the Great Depression, or the 40s, or the 50s, when black poverty was high and discrimination against blacks was high. In 1940, 87% of blacks lived below the federally defined level of poverty. Yet in the 1930s, black homicide went down. The 1940s, black homicide went down. 1950s, black homicide went down. You know when it increased about 89%? The 1960s. when Lyndon Johnson, with the best of intentions, launched what he called the War on Poverty. Suddenly, the percentage of black kids being born into the world without a father married to the mother skyrocketed. And as I've said many times before, don't take Elder's word for it. Take Barack Obama's word for it.
The statistics that children who grow up without a father are 5 times more likely to live in poverty and commit crime. They're 9 times more likely to drop out of school, 20 times more likely to end up in prison.
So, are you mad about what Charlie said, or are you mad that it was Charlie saying it?
You work for me. I don't work for you. You have a duty. We are entrusting our children to you. We teach our children morals, values when they grow up to commit crimes and end up in prison and kill a police officer. It's our fault? No, it's your fault. You're emotionally abusing our children and mentally abusing them. You're demoralizing them by teaching them communist values. This is still America, ma'am. And as long as I'm standing here on this good ground earth of God, I will fight. And this is not the last of me you will see. I'm retired. I have nothing else better to do. We can do it peacefully, or we can take it to the highest courts, because you know and I know I'm not the only parent fighting this all across America right now. Schools are trying to poison our children's minds, teaching them about things that they have no right to be taught in school.
So normally, I'm just going to, if you don't mind, I'm going to just give you just a feedback for a moment. I have no problem having a peaceful discussion. This is not a peaceful discussion.
No, that's your opinion. See, here we go again. This is peaceful. To me, this is peaceful.
Well,
I'm not burning, looting, and murdering. This is peaceful.
No, I did not accuse you of that, but I don't have a problem having a conversation with you, a peaceful conversation, which is, this is not.
$6.95 per child in the middle school to buy a curriculum from readtome.org that wasn't even approved by the Board of Ed. The administrators took it upon themselves to buy these books with taxpayer dollars while COVID is going on. How many families are struggling to pay their mortgages? Listen, by all means, you want to teach kids these things, fine. Don't do it on my dollar. Don't infringe on my religious beliefs. Don't infringe. Do you know who makes up the majority of this district? Children from police officers' families. Blues. Back the blue children. Do you know what these children feel like when they come home? Have you spoken to them? No. You're silencing them. This whole cancel culture. You're silencing the children. Where are their rights? They have no rights. Because if they don't believe in the indoctrination, the demonic, twisted, sneaky, vile acts and education, if you call it that you're teaching our children, they don't agree with that. They're either homophobic, they're part of a cult, they're racist. What's racist? Who defines racist? Why? Because do you know what race I am? Do you? You don't. You don't even have an idea. I could be black, I could be white, I could be Asian, you don't know. Who are you to determine that? Who is anyone to determine that? You know what? Children in the school system, children like other children, they don't look at color. Black and white children, Hispanic children, you know why they get along? Because they don't look at each other's color. So you're the racist.
This is the kind of active parenting that we need now, after having found out that all of our kids, not all of them, but a big substantial portion of our kids' teachers are woke activists that have a political agenda. They're not just there for the betterment of our kids and to educate them and to prepare them for the world. They're there to make sure that they have the mindset, the worldview that they want, the ultra far left worldview, and basically to kind of tear them away from the family, the nuclear family unit, to get them thinking about gender a certain way, race a certain way, to get them to hate America, more or less, and really plant some radical ideas in their minds. And it's very tragic that we have to worry about this, because there are so many good teachers, but there's also so many teachers that are left-wing activists that get into that profession specifically to have that sort of impact on the young generations coming up, to mold their minds, so to say, and to get them to see the world how they do. I don't want conservative or right-wing indoctrination in schools either. I think education should be pretty politically unbiased. Tell the kids the facts about history, give them a very straight to the point education that's useful and functional, and that doesn't tilt them one way or the other on the political spectrum. Let them make up their own minds or decide their own values after they've learned what they need to learn through their education. Now, that's a lot to ask for when it comes to college too. This is sub-college. I believe this is a high school, but college professors are notorious for being left-wing activists. It's almost a prerequisite. If you look up the proportion of registered Democrats to registered Republicans among college professors, it's over 95% are registered Democrats. And it's not surprising to me, but it is kind of striking, if maybe you've never heard that before, that there's that much of a tilt. Why are so many college professors, the people that are shaping American young minds, they are on the left? It takes active parenting. It takes parents learning who is actually teaching their kids. It takes kids being smart enough to critically think, to think for themselves, and to question their teachers respectfully, but question them and push back maybe against radical agendas, radical views in the classroom, and kind of show the teachers that they're not going to get away with bamboozling the kids in the class, and that there are some kids that are smart enough to push back, and they know the other side. They know arguments that contradict or that destroy left-wing arguments, and they are smart enough to pick them apart. So anyway, let me know what you guys thought of this mom's speech here. I thought she did an amazing job. I know that my mom would have done the same thing in that situation. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate it here at the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.